How to stop drinking when you don't think your alcohol use is a problem, but you're slightly concerned, like everybody's talking about alcohol. Oh my God, should I be worried about this? This is something that I have a conversation with people about quite a lot. The first thing is to figure out how much you're actually drinking. So in the UK, 14 units of alcohol is the government recommended guidelines. 14 units looks like a bottle and a half of wine. A bottle is about 9 units, or potentially about 7 cans, bottles of lager, a pint, depending on the strength of lager. That's recommended guidelines. It's not safe. There is no safe amount of alcohol. Alcohol is a harmful drug. So one of the first things I ask people to do is to educate themselves, and then they can make an informed choice. Sometimes people don't realize why alcohol is a problem for them. They think they feel okay. It's like they've adjusted to their new normal. Yeah. And here's the thing. No one has ever complained to me about being alcohol free. Now, I've worked with thousands and thousands of people over the last 20 years, lots of different people, not just people with serious alcohol problems, also people who are maybe only drinking a couple of glasses of wine and everything in between. And I can categorically tell you that every single person that has had a bit of alcohol-free time, had some alcohol-free days, reduced their drinking, has felt better. No one has ever complained to me about having a bit of alcohol-free time. So there's a few things I want you to consider. One is, let's get a measure of your units, how much alcohol you actually drinking. Because if you're drinking more than the recommended guidelines, then that's a potential risk around your health harms anyway. It's hard to say because lifestyle and genetics, there's all sorts of factors involved, and usually takes a bit of a thorough assessment to assess properly. But you can educate yourself with the facts. Drink by Professor David Nutt is the best book for facts. So start there if you're curious, yeah? And if you drink alcohol, I highly recommend that you do educate yourself with the facts. Like I said, then you can make an informed choice. So there's a bit about the units. Are you drinking more than the recommended amount? But there's also the calories. So if you're drinking a bottle of wine a day, which is, not unusual, that's 9 units, yeah? 63 units a week. That's 690 calories a day. I think, gosh, that's like 4,000 calories, 5,000 calories a week. It's also about 7, 8, 9 pounds a day, and that adds up like to about 50 pounds a week, 2,500 in a year. So there's the calories, there's the money, there's the unit, there's the health harms, yeah? So you may not think it's a problem. Maybe you don't have hangovers, you're not having the anxiety, there's no puffiness, no weight gain. You've adjusted to your new normal. You can't see that there is a problem. So I always get people to do the units, the calories, the money, because maybe money's an issue for you, yeah? Maybe you could do with saving a bit of money. Maybe you want to lose a bit of weight, then the calories would be an issue. Maybe dementia runs in your family, or, a lot of people are struggling with cancer around you, so you're curious about the cancer risk. There's so many different roads we can go down. But the other really big one I want you to consider is about thinking about it like an experiment, a challenge, being curious, yeah? So I quite often say to people when they have a conversation with me about this, do a week without alcohol, see how you feel, be curious. There's no reason why you can't do a week without alcohol unless you're a daily dependent drinker, but then alcohol definitely is a problem. That's a different video. That's not what we're talking about here. But people who are not daily dependent drinkers, you can just stop drinking, yeah? So there's something about being curious. Okay, so I don't think it's a problem. I think I feel okay. How would I feel if I did a week without alcohol? Yeah, 7 days. That's what I get people to do. Be curious, think of it like an experiment, a challenge, see if you can do it. There are a few aspects why I love this. One of them is, can you actually do it in the first place? Some people find it easy, some people really don't, and that's not about the amount you're drinking. And then that's another thing that we want to tackle. The last thing we want you to be is dependent on a harmful drug. Yeah, I know it's legal, I know it's socially acceptable, I know it's readily available, I know you're actively encouraged to drink it, it's been aggressively marketed to you, but alcohol is a harmful drug. And if you're curious even a little bit about what I'm saying, and you're thinking, okay, I'll do a week, I can do a week, and then if you struggle to do that, get some support. Yeah, that's the other reason why I like people, even if you're just drinking 2 glasses of wine a night, can you do a week without alcohol? How is that? Is it uncomfortable for you? What happens? Yeah. But then the other part of that is, how do you feel when you do a week, 7 days without alcohol? No one ever complained to me about being alcohol free, regardless of how much they were drinking. So most people experience better sleep, clarity, peace of mind, less anxiety, more energy. Some people lose some weight. Like, imagine 690 extra calories a day, unless you replace that with loads of chocolate and cake. A lot of people are going to lose some weight, yeah? And that feels nice in itself, doesn't it? So be curious. Think of it like an experiment. Let me know how you get on in the comments. I'll put some links as well if you need a bit of support. So we do a 5-day alcohol reset. It's free. It's done on the email. It's super easy. You sign up, comes straight into your inbox if you struggle to do the week. But let me know how you get on.